Trump's nominations for positions in his cabinet has been a grab bag of freaks and weirdos and lunatics and, of course, the dumbest people you've ever seen. But I gotta tell you something that's bothering me. In addition to everything that's bothering me about these people, what's bothering me is not necessarily who he's picked, because that bothers me enough. I'm a little bothered right now about who he hasn't picked. Because I gotta tell you, there is a man out there that has put his life on the line for Donald Trump, has destroyed his reputation, destroyed his business, and yet this man can't get appointed to anything in Trump's cabinet? And I am, of course, sarcastically referring to MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell. You would think that with Donald Trump already scraping the bottom of the barrel with his cabinet picks, that Mike Lindell would have already been nominated for something, right? I mean, again, the guy blew through his personal fortune to try to make Donald Trump president again. He is facing hundreds of millions of dollars in defamation lawsuits that will leave him penniless and without a business for Donald Trump. And Trump can't throw the guy a bone and be like, hey man, come be in charge of elections in the United States. I'll appoint you to a position in the DOJ where they oversee, election security and things like that. That is where you can go. But no, poor Mike Lindell, man. We'll shed a little tear for him because Trump just forgot he even existed. And the funnier part is that Lindell is still out there claiming he is going to overturn the results of the 2020 election. And he told Steve Bannon recently that he's going to be able to do it now because of the results of the 2024 election. Here's what he told Bannon. We're not letting up on 2020. That's where it's all at, everybody. It's taken a long time, but we will never stop until we get to the bottom of it. And he said, it's impossible, absolutely impossible. When things are mathematically impossible, you have to check in. You can't just put it aside and say, we'll let it go. Because, he says, Trump won in 2024. But he didn't win in 2020? No. That totally doesn't make any sense. How did he get fewer votes in 2020 and more votes in 2024? That's what he's basing this on. That is what he is saying, that's where it's not mathematically possible. It is unfortunately possible, and it did unfortunately happen. Trump lost in 2020, and he unfortunately won in 2024. He got more votes. It was not the landslide that the media originally said. He's going to have maybe a 1.5% advantage over Kamala Harris, but he did win. And a lot of Democrats stayed home. We see that in the turnout numbers. We know that happened. That's a verifiable thing. But Lindell says, nope, that is actually somehow proof that the Democrats cheated in 2020 and then didn't cheat in 2024. Which also, by the way, makes no sense. Because if Democrats did cheat in 2020, which they didn't, but if they did, and they knew how to do it, and they didn't get caught, and nobody could prove they did it, why didn't they do it in 2024, right? For his conspiracy theory to be true, the Democrats had to just say this year, you know what, it's a lot of work. Let's just not do it. We'll just let the chips fall where they may. But still, he is out there trying to prove that Trump won in 2020, which is also ironic because if he were to successfully prove that, that would make Donald Trump's election this year illegal, unconstitutional, and then he wouldn't be president. So Lindell's got a lot of work ahead of him that could destroy a lot of things that he thinks he's trying to help. But either way, he has been snubbed by Donald Trump. And I gotta say, that's just not fair. That poor man has been through so much. He has still more to go through. I believe his trials are finally going to start, the defamation trials, in January. So we'll see what happens with that. But I also am not going to be surprised if Donald Trump does try to put this wackadoo in his administration in some sort of capacity overseeing U.S. elections. We've seen dumber happen already, so this one honestly would not surprise me. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.